Welcome to the Dogface Development Co. Periodic Table GitHub Project Showcase. What this project is a public repository that is a module in Python that will print all the elements in the periodic table with an interactive prompt to learn more. Now, if you found this project useful, you can sponsor it on GitHub by clicking the sponsor button here. Otherwise, you can hit the watch button to be notified of new releases, as this is a pre-production project. You can also fork the repository to help it contribute to the project, otherwise you can star it to save it for later. As we scroll down here, we'll see that the releases has 4 tags. This is, as I alluded to before, because this is a pre-production project, and so it's not yet fully completed. As we continue to scroll down the page, we'll see that there is the periodic table info package, and that is a Docker package that is available for you to install via Docker, and is built with 97.7% Python and 2.3% Dockerfile in order to create that Docker package. Now, as we scroll down, we'll see our program logo, as well as a basic image of what the program looks like. So here are all of the things, all of the different elements, and you can run different commands to see the different elements. You can run either their number, or their name, or their symbol. Now, it has key features such as printing a list of all the periodic table elements, and sorts the elements by group, offers extended information on each element, and is cross-platform. Now you can download the source code to run the scripts yourself, or you can also download an executable version. There's also options to clone and run the application via Git, install the program via pip, or use Docker in order to pull the container from GitHub packages. It's built in partnership with GitHub, the Python Software Foundation, PyInstaller, Basher books, which are where all of this periodic table information came from, and Wikipedia. Finally, it's licensed under the GNU General Public License, which can be seen in the license file in the GitHub repository. Now, we'll scroll back up to the top of the page here, past all this long image, and we will see the main function here, which has the main program, and then we'll move on to the elements and the print functions. Starting with our main function, this runs the main program. So what it's going to do is it's going to import the element file and the element printout function, which lists all of the individual elements. And what it'll do is it'll print all of these elements. Finally, asking the user what element they would like to learn more about and asking them to enter this information. What it does is it takes the input from the user as lower, and then it prints information about what they have selected. If they put an element in there that is not in the periodic table, then it'll remind them that they should type it as sodium or sodium, or as Na, or with its atomic number. Heading back to the periodic table info main page on the repository here, we will see the elements.py function, which will show up first. Now what this is this lists each of the individual elements as a print statement. So here we have the periodic table elements. It starts with a new line, and it has hydrogen, then the alkyl metals, then the alkaline earth metals, the transition elements, the boron elements, the carbon elements, the nitrogen elements, the oxygen elements, the halogen elements, the noble gases, the lanthanide elements, and so on and so forth. These have not yet been added to the program, as the program is not yet complete and it is still undergoing further development. If you feel the need to develop, just hit that fork button up at the top of the page, and you can continue to work on the project with us. Finally, there is the print.py Python file, and what this does is it prints each of the elements to the screen. Now this does not print them as a function, all this does is just print them on their own. So if you would like to try this and you just want to see all the elements get printed to the screen, you can run this program itself. So we'll see all of them here, just like that. So what we'll do now is we'll launch the actual program in our actual terminal, and then we can see how the program would run if you were actually to use it. So I have cloned the GitHub repository and I have launched into that page, and now I can run the programs themselves. So I'll start by running python main.py, which starts the program prompt. And so we'll see here that it has printed out the periodic table elements header, as well as each of the individual groups and the individual elements. Started with hydrogen, which is on its own, then the alkyl metals, the alkaline earth metals, transition elements, the boron elements, the carbon elements, the nitrogen elements, the oxygen elements, the halogen elements, and the noble gases, as well as finally the lanthanide elements. And then we can enter the element that we'd like to learn more about. So let's go fluorine. And sorry, it does not exist yet because the program is still under development and has not yet been completed. Now if we go python elements.py to look at the other code files, we'll find that it does not do anything. This is because the Python elements.py requires that you call the function, as the only thing in there is a function. Now, we would never call the function, because what we would want to do in this situation is we want to run the main program and then main.py file, which would call the function for us. Now, if we did want to just see the elements and not run the rest of it, then we run the print.py program by going python print.py, pressing enter, and all it will do is just print the elements out for us. And now we've seen a list of all the elements in the periodic table without the interactive prompt or any interactive programs. So if you need an educational tool to teach your kids about computers and also about the periodic table, then feel free to head over to GitHub and download this. It has interactive information about all of the periodic table elements and is continuing to be developed to include more elements and more information.